Now, back to Miller on Sports, the show where everyone feels like rushing the field. Everything else is just talk. Brought to you by the law offices of Ron Scholes.
Always an absolute pleasure with Matthew Driscoll. He joins us every Wednesday at 4:20. Ospreys are 10-12, 4-5 in the Atlantic Sun. Do a little bit better in the second half of conference play. NFL Network breaking news just a couple minutes ago during the break. Chuck Pagano has informed the Baltimore Ravens he will be leaving to become the Indianapolis Colts head coach. And we knew Jim Irsay said it last week that they'd have somebody by about Tuesday, Wednesday. Today's Wednesday, so it makes sense. Chuck Pagano is now the new head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. We're going to talk some JU football. We bring in their head football coach, Kerwin Bell, to Miller on Sports. We go weekdays from 4 until 6. It's AM 1600 WZNZ. Coach Bell, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
And where are you right now? I know you're on the road recruiting, right?
Yeah, well, we have been, but I'm actually in the office today trying to get caught up on some things. We had some home visits last night, but we got back in late last night, and we're in the office today. Some of our coaches are still on the road, though.
Oh, well, good deal. Now, you were the North's offensive coordinator for the first Battle of Florida All-Star game. The head coach was Bobby Bowden. What was it like coaching alongside Bobby Bowden?
Well, it was great. You know, he had actually had a funeral middle of the week, so he didn't get down till Thursday afternoon. He just had some other things he had to deal with. So he got down, but we were on the field together Friday for the walkthrough Friday morning, and you know, he was real complimentary. He said, "Hey, you've prepared this team, and I'm just gonna stand there, and you go out and coach them up, and let's win the game." And he was just he was fun all night to be around, and I had a great time being with him.
Now, were there any conversations about Florida State? You, of course, playing football at Florida, and he previously the longtime head coach at Florida State?
Well, no, not really.
No?
Not really. I just told him it was a pleasure to be on the same field with him. I've always, you know, I grew up really halfway between Gainesville and Tallahassee, and so I was always a very big Bobby Bowden fan. I just loved the kind of person he is and the kind of character of man he is, and so it was great just to be on the same field with him.
Now, for the game itself, Coach, the first Battle of Florida All-Star game on Saturday night, did any players stand out to you in the game?
Well, my quarterback, I thought, did.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, he you know, we started him. He knew the system, and he had a really good week of practice, and so we went and started him. We played each quarterback one quarter, and then we was going to play really all of them the fourth quarter, or whoever played the best. And I tell you, he started out really strong. The only incompletion was his first attempt. It was sort of a fade pass, and Josh Bellamy from University of Louisville, big time. I think he'll play at the next level. Ball went right through his hands, but after that, Josh McGregor, our quarterback, completed 11 straight passes, and we finished the first quarter there with a 27-0 lead, and then you know, our other quarterbacks really played too. Dominic Davis, who's from Lakeland, who went to East Carolina and had a great career there. Dominic's got he's a big physical quarterback, and he came in and threw a touchdown on his first pass, and then Stephen Garcia, the South Carolina quarterback with Coach Spurrier, he got opportunity in third quarter and threw 2 touchdown passes. So, you know, on my end, our receivers and quarterbacks played extremely well, and then our defensive line, I thought, really put a lot of pressure on them guys. And it's hard for me to name the guys. You know, I just remember sort of the phases that played well. But as a group, our team, I thought, really executed and played at a high level.
Now, with Josh McGregor, your former quarterback at Jacksonville University, any pro scouts coming up to you and saying, hey, we really like this guy, tell us a story or two?
Well, you know, just from his production here at JU with over 11,000 yards and 116 touchdown passes in his career, he's had a bunch of scouts in and out of here during the fall, you know, watching his game film. You know, and as I've talked to those guys, a lot of them says he's got enough talent. You know, he'll be in a camp is what they're telling me.
Wow.
So, you know, and then on top of that, to be able to go and play against, you know, University of Miami, University of Florida, you know, Florida State guys, and play extremely well the way he did, I think it really has got maybe some guys really looking at him, and hopefully he'll get a real good shot.
And you mentioned Steven Garcia. What did you see from him? Because everybody knows about his troubles up in South Carolina with the Gamecocks, but he definitely has talent there. What impressed you the most about him?
Well, he's a savvy guy. You know, he came in and threw the ball extremely well, and you know, I think skill-wise, I really put Josh and him in about the same skill set. You know, they buy about the same size, and their arm strength's about the same. You know, so I think both of them really throughout the week really reminded me a lot of each other as far as just their skill set. Mm-hmm. You know, Josh has just done it for 4 years, and he's been a model citizen off the field and as a leader. You know, I think that's the one thing they got to really look at close at Steven, and he knows that. We talked this week about it. Is he's got to show that football is important to him, and that he's going to do whatever it takes to become, you know, the kind of player he can be. And I think he has the ability to play there. It's just a matter of being able to show it and prove that he's the player and the person that can get it done.
A conversation with Kerwin Bell, JU Dolphins head football coach, recruiting and everything. He's in the office right now joining Miller on Sports on this Wednesday afternoon, and we're very grateful to have him. Now, Coach, Josh McGregor, what is his listed height?
He measured with Pro Scouts at 6'2".
6'2", okay. 217
pounds. And like I said, Garcia's 6'2", probably 230. He's a little heavy. He told me he needs to get a little bit better shape. You know, just because he's been away from football a little bit there this fall. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Josh measured at 6'2", 217.
Now, your name has been mentioned with both openings at Florida and Auburn as their offensive coordinator. Can you tell us anything? How far did you get in the interview process?
Well, you know, I felt probably better. I had a better opportunity at Florida. I got a 4-hour interview, sit down with Will Muschamp, and really thought we hit it off. And I felt very comfortable after leaving there that he was sort of impressed. You know, I felt that way, and he told me that, and so I felt good about that interview. The Gene deal is sort of a frustrating one. I really, you know, got a chance to talk. He called me, but really didn't get a chance to really do a personal, really sit-down interview. He was more by the phone, and I think he had probably pretty much made up his mind before that call was made. So that was a little frustrating not to be able to get in on that earlier and really, you know, sit down and talk. And I also had an opportunity to sit down with Mario Cristobal at FIU, and I know he was, you know, we had a really good meeting with him. So, but Florida is the place I would probably leave this place for, and because I love what I'm doing here. I think we're just a season or two away from really playing on a national level. I really do, and it's just exciting. We've got the best recruiting class we've ever had here, and you know, Florida being my alma mater was somewhere I had to look and maybe leave as a head coach here and go. But right now, I'm really excited. Our coaching staff's excited about our recruiting class. I mean, we've got kids now that can go. You know, we're starting to recruit kids that can compete on a national level, and that's where I want to take this program. Mm-hmm.
He's Coach Kerwin Bell of the JU Dolphins joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. Now, Coach, are you willing to disclose how many years you have left on your JU head coaching contract?
Well, I think it's known. You know, I signed an extension through 2015. Okay. You know, for right now, that's where I'm at as far as here at Jacksonville University.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Now, the ultimate goal is to become a head coach in D1, right?
Well, you know, I tell people all the time, and you know, you look and you talk to people, and you naturally are going to listen when people, you know, call you.
Right.
But I don't need, Richard. I don't really need going to Division I. You know, naturally, anybody in anybody's profession wants to continue to rise and see how far you can go. But it's not something I have to have within the next year or so. You know, and I said that 5 years ago when I took this job. To me, I really believe this. I told Will this. My job to me is just as important as his. Mm-hmm. You know, because I'm building a program. You know, we're not on TV, but man, it's just as exciting. It's just as important. I've got young men. I went to their homes and recruited them and told their mamas and daddies that I was to get them an education. And man, that's what it's all about. I just love being able to take young men and help them grow and become, you know, adults. You know, and then also try to win championships. And so it's been fun, and I've had a blast here so far.
No, for sure. Before you go, Coach, are you excited about JU having a band?
Yes, extremely. And, I know people said, oh, he's just saying that. Listen, that still adds so much to our game day experience. In fact, the whole 4 or 5 years since I've been here, I've been trying to get them to bring in high school bands, just to have that experience of a game, because we miss that tremendously. And now to have our own band here at JU, and it's going to be wonderful for the atmosphere and just to continue to take this program to the next level. We've got a product that I think people could be really excited about, but we got to make it a college atmosphere, and the band's a big part of that.
Definitely.
Our stadium built is another big part of that. You come in a beautiful stadium, you have the band playing, you got the video screens going, and now you got a great football team that's exciting, that scores a pile of points. Man, there's going to be a pile of people wanting to come watch us play.
Absolutely. He's Kerwin Bell, JU Dolphins head football coach, joining Miller on Sports. Coach, it's a pleasure, and best of luck with this offseason.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
There he goes. Kerwin Bell, more of Miller on Sports after this.